Welcome students. Today we are going to study chapter 2 of geography, that is land, soil, water, natural vegetation and wildlife resources. Land, soil, water are the resources which belong to abiotic resources and are the most important resources, whereas natural vegetation and wildlife resources come under biotic resources. Either biotic or abiotic, both type of resources are limited in nature, so we have to use these resources in very judicial way. Now let's start the chapter, and our first topic is land. The land covers just about 30% of the surface of the earth. It is not suitable for living everywhere because a lot of additional conditions that affect life. Some factors affecting the habitability of a place are topography, height of sea level, climate, the fertility of the soil, vegetation, etc. People cannot live in dense forest or in deserts. Plains and rivers valley are the place where agriculture is suited. So most of the world population lives in such areas and these areas are heavily populated. Mineral richness, water resources and good climatic conditions are also important for living. Now move to our next topic, that is land use. The purpose and way in which land is used is called land use. Land use may be for agriculture, forestry, mining, building houses, roads, setting up of industries or various other purposes. Some important factors which determining the land use are physical factor like topography, availability of water, climate, minerals, and some factors like human factors include population and technology. On the basis of ownership, it may be private land or community land. Private land is owned by an individual or group of individuals, like house is a private land. Community land is meant for collection of fodder, fruits, etc. Community lands are also common property resources. Since the population is always growing at a fast pace, the demand for land is increasing, whereas the availability of land is limited. Land degradation, landslide, soil erosion, desertification are major threats to the environment. Conservation of land. Due to the huge demand for land, people have also started to cut down the trees in order to make them habitable. This had resulted in deforestation, and to conserve the land, we must plant more and more trees, check to overgraze, and regulate the uses of chemical pesticides and fertilizers. Now, move to our next topic, which is soil. The upper layer of the land surface is called soil. This layer is made of organic matter, minerals, and weathered rocks. It takes hundreds of years to form the few centimeters of soil. There are four layers of soil profile, and the first layer is called topsoil with humus and vegetation. Second layer is called subsoil with sand, silt, and clay. Third layer, weathered rock material, and the fourth layer is parent rock. In different geographic region, different soil can be observed. Different type of soil are suitable for particular type of crops. Next is factors of soil formation. The major factors of soil formation are the parent rock, relief, flora, fauna and microorganism, and time. Let's discuss one by one. The parent rock determines the color, texture, chemical property, mineral content and soil. Relief determines the altitude and slope. Flora, fauna. Flora means plants, fauna means animals. Flora, fauna and microorganism affects the rate of humus, and the presence of microorganism also plays a very important role in soil nutrient cycle and mineral balance. And the last one is time. Time determines the thickness of soil. It takes hundreds of years to make just 1 centimeter of soil. Climate. Soil is the mixture of all the geoclimatic factors available. Degradation of soil and conservation measures. Soil erosion and depletion pose major threats to the quality and resourcefulness of soil. Degradation takes place by both human and natural factors. Deforestation, overgrazing, overuse of chemical fertilizers or pesticides, rainwash, landslide, and floods lead to degradation of soil. We can conserve the soil by many methods like mulching, rock dam, contour barrier, contour plugging, terrace farming, shelter beds, belts, etc. Let's let's discuss one by one all these. First of all, mulching. The bare ground between plants is covered with a layer of organic matter like straw. It helps to retain soil moisture. Next one is rock dam. These are piled up to slow down the flow of water. These prevents gullies and further soil loss. Third, contour barriers. Stone, grass, soil are used to build barriers along contours. Fourth one is contour plugging. Plugging parallel to the contour of a hill slope to form a natural barrier for water to flow down the slope. Terrace farming. It can reduce surface runoff on soil erosion. And last one is the shelter belt. These are formed to check the wind movement to protect soil cover. Our next topic is water. Water covers about 70% of the surface of the earth. Therefore, the earth is called the water planet or blue planets also. Ocean water is saline and not fit for human consumption. Fresh water is just 2.7, but only 1% of fresh water is available for human use. We use water for a lot of purposes. Life is impossible without water. Water is used for agriculture, industries, generally generating electricity through reservoirs, etc. And the major cause of water shortage are increasing population, resigned demands for food and rising of standard of living. Water is available through the water cycle, which is a constant movement from ocean to atmosphere and back to ocean. Through precipitation, misuse and overexploitation led to the scarcity of water, and judicial use by every individual is necessary. Problem of water availability. There is water shortage in many regions of the world. It may be a result of variation of seasonal or annual precipitation or to droughts and face great problems of water scarcity. Global warming and increasing of industrialization also leads to raise the concern against clean water availability. Now, how to conserve water? Conservation of water resources. Water is a renewable resource, but its overuse and pollution make it unfit for use too. So, there should be some steps to conserve water, and it can be done by afforestation means planting more and more trees, adopting effective techniques for irrigation, and promoting rainwater harvesting. Canal used for irrigation should be developed to conserve water. Our next topic is natural vegetation and wildlife. Natural vegetation and wildlife exist only in the biosphere, and they are interrelated and interdependent on each other by their survival, and this system is called an ecosystem. Natural vegetation and wildlife both are valuable resources. They both are not useful to us, but they also help in maintaining balance in nature. Plants provide us with timber, shelter to animals, produce oxygen, protect soil, give us fruits and vegetables, etc. And wildlife include animals, birds, insects, and aquatic life forms. They provide us milk, meat, hides and wool, act as decomposer in ecosystem, etc. Our next point is distribution in of natural vegetation. Major vegetation of the ecosystem are forest, grassland, shrubs and tundra. Due to deforestation and soil erosion, construction activities, forest fire, tsunami, landslides and poaching, many species and wildlife have become extinct and many others are on the verge of extinction. Conservation of natural vegetation and wildlife. We have to conserve wildlife and natural vegetation. It is the ethical duty of every citizen to conserve plants and animals, to protect our natural vegetation and wildlife. National parks, wildlife sanctuaries, and biosphere reserves are made. Awareness programs like Van Mahotsav should also be encouraged the regional and community level. This is all about the chapter. Thank you.